Welcome to the Panic Button. I'm Jessie.
I'm Nina.
Happy Pride. Every time someone sees me who knows me, they're like, Happy Pride. And every time I don't say it back. It's like it's Christmas or something.
For who?
I don't know. No one's giving me gifts. It's not happy.
This is, I think it's an elementary school or a middle school. What'd you think of that?
I remember you asking me the question of why would somebody dress like a unicorn?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Well, we know what a unicorn is because we've been lesbians on dating apps.
It has something to do with the unicorns being a symbol of the rainbow or some shit like that. But I thought it was a bisexual woman who gets involved with
a couple who
a straight
wants an
couple.
additional partner.
Yeah, so that's very, very confusing.
I've never wanted to call my mom and ask her what's been going on at her school, but now I'm very curious to find out if they're doing any stupid shit like this in, like, an inner city school, you know what I mean? Because, like, I can't imagine a lot of inner city parents going for this.
This is a celebration, it looks like. Everyone's having fun, music's playing, people are dressed up in costumes. But they put the whole...
for what? Yeah. Well, I know, like
what the fuck are we talking about now?
I know I had a difficult time coming out. I told you about that coming out story that became...
Congratulations, you went through hell to come out.
You know what?
Happy Pride.
That story, the one I told you the other day, that I had an ex for 4 years ago. We broke up 4 years ago, and she hit me up just to say she finally came out to her parents.
But she's straight.
She's bi, technically.
What's the difference between queer and pansexual and bisexual? Bisexual only means you want to be with a man and a woman, and pansexual means you want to be with anyone. What is queer?
Well,
technically, I'm queer, but I'm a lesbian, so it's like, what, do I get, like, double points because I'm 2 letters in the acronym? I don't understand what's going on here.
Pansexual used to mean that you were bi, plus if you were trans, you were down.
But now it's trans, but what is it? Is it transgender or is it transsexual? Do
Well,
we
I
need 2
think
T's to cover both?
pansexuality used to mean that you date someone who was
Anything?
a man who dressed like a woman, or transgender, or transsexual,
Anything
or a
that's a
man,
human.
or a woman.
Or anything that identifies as anything.
Basically,
I'm assuming.
Basically. And
Anymore.
bisexual meant that you would only date men or women, you know? I don't know what's going on these days, though. Definition mean nothing.
These children are wearing things and supporting something that they don't even understand. Have you ever seen the movie? It's a documentary called Jesus Camp. Have you ever
I
seen
don't think
it?
so.
Well, it reminds me a lot of this. These children are going to Jesus Camp and being taught all these things about Jesus and religion and stuff. So they're crying and putting their hands up in the air and being made to feel guilty for sinning and
I did that.
for doing all this.
I went to church camp.
This is Jesus Camp. This is like extreme. Like it got shut down. You were watching these interviews and thinking, these kids don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. And this reminds me of the exact same thing, just on the opposite spectrum.
Did you ever have, like, homecoming hallway decorations or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember, like, going in high school and watching your hallway get changed to something else and, like, being like, wow, this is actually fun for, like, 2 seconds.
Yeah, like Christmas or Halloween.
That's what they're doing with these kids, and it's fun because it's not regular for them. It's not boring, you know what I mean? So you're pushing this on them. It seems fun, but they don't even really know what they're doing. It's just something that's not regular school.
It's also creating a whole bunch, a new generation of narcissists. Because they think that by identifying will give them accolades, praise, attention, recognition, celebration. Mommy, they're celebrating me because I'm queer, which means that they don't identify as whatever the fuck that means. And they don't even understand what it means. They just know that by saying they're different, they get praise. And they don't have to do anything in the process. So it's teaching them not only to be lazy, but little narcissists.
What does it even mean to be celebrated in that capacity, though?
Fuck if I know.
It's like being celebrated because you're right-handed, or celebrated because
you were born.
because you yeah. I mean, honestly, what is there to celebrate? I just don't understand. You could be a murderer and be gay, and there's no reason to celebrate that.
I was thinking about this today. These girls at this school are suing because they allowed a trans girl into their locker room, and she just went to the locker room and stared at them. I thought it was very interesting because if this kid was just a boy, walked in there and did this,
There'd be a big consequence.
there would be giant consequence, right? Believe all women, right? Hashtag me too. But because this little boy goes into the locker room and says he's a girl, he can get away with being a little creepy little boy. And the thing is that the little girls who he made to feel uncomfortable are the ones that are going to get punished. It's like the
For not being
opposite of Me
accepting.
Too. It's like hashtag fuck you, not hashtag me too. Don't believe all women because they're bigots. Like,
Well,
that's
it's
what
not
it's coming down to.
It's not Me Too like it happened to Me Too. It's Me Too like you have to accept Me Too.
This is just trampling all over women. Oh. All right. I see a lot of kink things. Kink stuff.
Lot of leatherware.
A lot of man boobs. Yep. Collars.
Oh, the puppy
chains,
masks. People on leash.
Bulges. Many bulges.
More dogs. They're basically naked.
So now people are being celebrated for having a kink and then using the Pride Parade as an excuse to be a part of it and get praised.
That is nightclub attire.
No, this is in front of children attire now, apparently.
No, I'm saying that should only be nightclub attire. If you're going to wear anything like that anywhere, it's the only place is a nightclub.
Or in the privacy of your own home. That would be great, too.
I said out.
They have a lot of stuff that's popping out right now.
This discussion.
This is
This is the same thing, just a little bit.
extension of the parade, yeah.
Oh, and he's got his whip out.
Oh,
Oh, he's actively whipping someone's...
very kid-friendly.
I think those should have been swapped in order. That's so
So
bad.
kids are allowed into sex dungeons, too? Is that where we're headed?
They're literally displaying. That is disgusting. And that's why we don't want to have these parades. This is why we're against Pride, because, that is stuff that you save exclusively for home.
I have a question. What is the interest that these people have wearing and doing these things in front of children? Why do they enjoy doing it in front of kids?
I don't think that this is directly, quote-unquote, targeted at kids. I think that these people just want to have people watch them.
And they don't care if kids are in the audience?
They don't care who watches them.
Okay.
They don't consider children. They only consider their own gratification and being watched while doing these acts. It's gross.
So we're legalizing a whole bunch of illegal things.
Just do cam stuff online with your significant other at night, man. If you really want people to watch, at least you get paid that way. This is just gross. This is just sad. And you're you're doing this in the street with people clapping. Why are they clapping? Clap them cheeks, eh?
It's a collective parade for people with very disturbed brains.
I don't even have good jokes because this is just disgusting. I tried to clap those cheeks and it just felt wrong.
So this one says there was a pride party elementary schools today at lunch. Printouts with affirmations written on them were scattered around the students for students to color. Here's one of them. I can change exactly how I am referred to by people in my life, and this can change at any time and for any reason. So you can control people, and that's fine? Okay.
I've been referred to as idiot by enough people to know that that's not true.
I am allowed to choose how and when I share and teach others about my experience as someone who is queer and or trans. Listen, get the fuck rid of the Q in our acronym. Not only is it confusing, but it's putting a lot of people in with us that are just stolen valoring our shit.
So queer, I understand, can be an umbrella term, but, I understand what that's trying to say, which is, don't out. You can't out people. You got that, control yourself. But it's not true. People were outed for reasons that were out of their control. And you can't control that. You're not allowed to choose that moment. I wasn't allowed to choose that moment. She wasn't allowed to choose that moment. besides with a select few people. Like these are lies.
My body is the gender and sex I say it is.
Another lie. That's like saying I have an IQ of 1,000,000,000 because I said so.
This finger means I love you because I say it does.
Okay.
Let's see. This one says my sexual identity is not determined by the sexual experience I have or haven't had.
I think that's kind of like the how do you know you don't like it if you haven't tried it. As an adult, I can understand it, but as a kid, it's like, what? Sexual experiences. This is an elementary school. What sexual experiences are these kids having?
I was watching The Offensive Tranny, and the one person was saying, people need to gender me how I want them to gender me. And he asked, why do you want people to lie to you? And it made a lot of sense. Because they want them to gender them correctly, right? But if I see a dude and you want me to say you're a woman, then you know that I am actively lying to your face to appease you. Which also means that not only am I lying, but I'm afraid of you and I have to walk on eggshells because I'm afraid of hurting your feelings so much that it instills the fear in me. How does that mean acceptance? How does that mean that I am accepting that person if I have to lie to them, like I'm playing this game with them?
They don't perceive it as a lie when you affirm them, though. That's the thing that we keep missing out on. If you believed it was a lie, if you believed it was a lie, you would still be mad at that person. If you, however, believe that you convinced them to believe you and listen to you and fall into your delusion, that there is when they're like, I did it. They believe I'm a this now because I said so and I stood up for myself and I did this and I did that and I'm so strong and so powerful. It's gross.
I gotta win.
Exactly. It's you had me watch The Foxcatcher when we first started talking to each other.
Yeah.
And it's very much like that. If you haven't heard about it, go ahead and watch it. It's this guy who had a lot of money, so all these people around him placated and lied to him, and even like they were like wrestling matches, and these obviously stronger competitors would lose to this man, so they could get money out of it. It's the same idea, except the exchange here is that you can continue living your life without being yelled at by some stranger you don't even know.
Well, the people were getting something out of, placating to him. They were getting money.
Yeah, you're getting something out of it too, with peace of mind, dude.
But when you have to placate to someone's delusion, you're not getting anything out of it, but not getting canceled. That's the only thing you're not getting out. The only thing you're getting out of it is not getting canceled or hassled.
It's
so
just
it's
peace
fear.
of mind.
You're just
Yeah.
that's what it is.
So you're asking
and the only
why?
people who are going to bend to you are the ones who want to be on your side. Those are the only, and you're like making them bow down to you in what you want. You're like manipulating them emotionally. These emotionally weak people.
Why would you're asking why these people would want to be lied to when the question isn't that. The question is why do these people insist you lie to them so they believe things that they know themselves aren't true?
Control and power can be a very addictive thing for a lot of people. And when someone has that power, you can see what type of person they really are by how they wield it. And that's when you see how most people don't treat people the way they want to be treated.
No, they treat people the way they demand to be treated.
Mm-hmm. But they would not want to be treated like that in return.
No, the second it turns back on them, they lose their mind and scream that they were bullied and this and that, the other thing, when they're actually the bullies themselves.
Yep.
He's tearing up the rug.
Well, we have to go because my dog's tearing up the rug. So, like and subscribe.
Drop a comment below if you agree, disagree, you want to tell us a story, whatever.
We got time.